I recall events that happened to me as young as 2, shaping who I am today. I remember knowing the weather would be bad and hiding in a culvert in the pouring rain while my mother yelled at me to come inside as a tornado approached and touched down behind the house. I remember knowing that something lurked in the hedges out in front of me that would bite me, and moments later, a water moccasin came slithering out. I played games with the tiny people who came from under the tree stumps, out of the flowers, and from beneath the houses built long ago on blocks to avoid the floodwaters. No one else ever knew who or what I was talking to. My imaginary friends, whom only I could see, came out and played with me because I could see and hear them when no one else could. The tiny people no one else would ever admit to seeing. If only everything I saw were kind and playful like the little people. But there were monsters in my closets. Not imaginary, actual monsters. Ones that would physically throw things at me and steal my covers. Ones that would leave scratches, bites, and bruises on me. Ones that would scare me horribly, feasting on my fear, dining in perverse delight on the terror they evoked. Fear kept me in my bed awake all night, even to the point of wetting it instead of going to the toilet, because they would grab my legs and pull me down to attack, causing me to incur my mother's violent wrath for being too old to be wetting the bed. And then there was the man in the closet, the creepy swamp rat looking man who smelled of old dirt from some dank, forgotten place. He came out every night, slowly opening the doors to increase my terror, creeping across the floor to my bedside, making me pull the covers over my head and tremble in silence, too afraid to cry out for help. He would whisper the evil things he was going to do to me. Those whispers were like tendrils of moldy, dead things creeping coldly across my skin and into my soul. He would whisper until I screamed into my pillow, and then he would laugh and touch me. He would leave marks, proof that he was as real as I was. The marks on my body were easier to cope with. The scars on my mind and soul were not. No one believed me about these things. No one listened when I tried to tell them what was stalking me in the dead of night. Even my mother called me a liar with an overactive imagination, accusing me of marking myself for attention. She punished me night after night for bedwetting and for making up stories. My father was rarely home before 8 p.m. on weeknights and traveled often for work. On weekends, he was busy with lawn care, house repairs, or my brothers. I never told him about the man or the other things. I doubted he would believe me, especially after my mother complained about how horrible I was and all the trouble I caused her. I found it was better not to speak of them, not to speak of him. It only made the spankings harsher when I blamed the nighttime incontinence on the creatures that terrorized me. So I suffered in silence, screams buried in pillows, night after night, alone, terrified, not knowing how to make it stop.